English listening to heaven and hell. Heaven and hell. Time in heaven. 162. In spite of the fact that there is a succession and progression of all things in heaven, as in the world, yet angels have no notion or idea of time and space, not even knowing at all what time and space are. Time in heaven will now be treated of, and space in its appropriate section. 163. Angels do not know what time is, although with them there is a successive progression of all things, just as in the world without any difference at all. The reason is that, in heaven, instead of years and days, there are changes of state, and where there are years and days there are times, but where there are changes of state, there are states. 164. In the world there are times, because the sun of the world seemingly advances in succession from one degree to another, producing the times called seasons of the year. Besides which, it appears to revolve about the earth, producing the times called times of the day, both of these by fixed alternations. With the sun of heaven it is different. This does not mark years and days by successive progressions and revolutions, but marks changes of state by the way it appears, and this, as has been shown in the preceding section, does not take place by fixed alternations. Consequently, no idea of time is possible to angels. But in its place, they have an idea of state. What state is may be seen above. 165. As angels have no idea derived from time, such as men in the world have, so neither do they have any idea about time and the things pertaining to it. They do not even know what is meant by the terms of time, such as year, month, week, day, hour, today, tomorrow, yesterday. When angels hear these terms used by man, for angels are always associated with man by the Lord, in place of them they perceive states and the things pertaining thereto. Thus a man's natural idea is turned into a spiritual idea with angels. This is why times in the word signify states, and the terms of time, as enumerated above, signify corresponding spiritual things. 166. The same is true of all things that exist from time, as the four seasons of the year called spring, summer, autumn and winter, the four periods of the day called morning, noon, evening and night, the four ages of man called infancy, youth, manhood and old age, and all other things which either come into existence from time or have a succession in accordance with time. In thinking of these, a man thinks from time but an angel from state. In consequence, what is in them from time with a man is, with the angels, turned into an idea of state. Spring and morning are turned into an idea of the state of law and wisdom, such as they are in their first state with angels. Summer and noon are turned into an idea of law and wisdom, such as they are in their second state. Autumn and evening such as they are in their third state. Night and winter into an idea of such a state as exists in hell. This is why these states have a like significance in the word. This makes clear how natural things in the thought of man become spiritual with the angels who are with man. 167. Since angels have no notion of time, so they have an idea of eternity different from that which men on earth have. By eternity angels perceive infinite state, not infinite time. Number sign. Once I was thinking about eternity and was able, with the idea of time, to perceive what to eternity means, namely, without end, but not what from eternity means, thus not what God did from eternity before creation. When anxiety on this account arose in my mind, I was raised up into the sphere of heaven, and thus into the perception which angels have in respect of eternity. It was then made clear to me that eternity must be thought of not from time but from state, and then the meaning of from eternity can be perceived, which is also what happened with me. Men have an idea of eternity associated with time, but angels apart from time. 168. When angels speak with men, they never express themselves in the natural ideas proper to man, all of which are from time, space, matter and things analogous thereto, but in spiritual ideas, which are all from states and their various changes within the angels and outside them. Nevertheless, when these angelic ideas which are spiritual inflow with men, they are turned in a moment and of themselves into the natural ideas proper to man, corresponding perfectly to the spiritual ideas. Neither angels nor men know that this takes place, but such is the nature of all the influx of heaven with man. There were angels who were permitted to enter more nearly into my thoughts, even into the natural thoughts in which were many things from time and space. But as they then understood nothing, they suddenly withdrew, and after they had withdrawn I heard them talking and saying that they had been in darkness. To it has been granted me to know, by experience, how ignorant the angels are about time. There was a certain one from heaven who was able to enter into natural ideas, such as man has, and with him I afterwards talked as man with man. At first he did not know what it was that I called time, and I was therefore obliged to tell him all about it. How the sun appears to be carried round our earth, and to produce years and days, and how years are thereby divided into 4 seasons, in 2 months and weeks, and how days are divided into 24 hours, and that these times recur by fixed alternations, all this being the source of times. On hearing this, he was surprised, saying that he knew nothing about such things, but only what states are. 3. In speaking with him, I also said that it is known in the world, for men speak as if they knew, that there is no time in heaven, saying of those who die that they leave the things of time and that they pass out of time, meaning by this, out of the world. I also said that some know that times in their origin are states, for they know that times are entirely in accordance with the states of the affections in which they are, short to those who are in pleasant and joyous states, long to those who are in unpleasant and sorrowful states, and various in the state of hope and expectation. This leads learned men to inquire what time and space are, and some of them know that time belongs to the natural man. 169. The natural man can be of the opinion that he would be deprived of all thought if the ideas of time, space and material things were taken away, for upon these all man's thought rests. Number sign. But let him know that so far as thoughts partake of time, space and matter, they are limited and confined, but are unlimited and extended so far as they do not partake of these. Since the mind is in that measure raised above bodily and worldly things, it is from this that angels have a wisdom such as may be described as incomprehensible. because it does not fall into ideas that are wholly made up of corporeal and worldly things. Man does not think, as angels do, apart from the idea of time. Next, I will post an article that says, Representatives and Appearances in Heaven. Thank you.